So I hope you learn a couple of exercises from this class that you can do even at your desk and just kind of take little breaks throughout your workday, and that you leave this class feeling a little bit more refreshed and looser to take on the rest of your day. The one thing I'll say before we get started is that everyone is approaching this class with different bodies, different aches and pains. So please listen to your body. Please take the options and modifications that you feel your body needs. I'm going to offer lots of them. So don't be afraid to take an option that feels better for your body. Nothing we do today should hurt your body. So if it does, just scale it back a little bit and jump back in when you feel more comfortable. We're going to get started sitting back in your chair. Let me just make sure here we have a good view. Okay, in a nice, comfortable seated position. So always a fine tuning to get the angles. Okay, so find a comfortable seat where you can rest your feet down into the floor. And so for me, I need to sit up towards the front edge of my chair. I think many of you will find the same, so that you can feel your feet heavy and grounded into the floor beneath you. And once you're there, start to stack and sit your spine up tall. Imagine your spine almost like building blocks that are stacking one on top of the other as you lift the top of your head up to the ceiling. And once you're in your tall seated position, go ahead and gently blink your eyes closed. We're going to take a moment here just to get connected to how our body feels before we start to add in any movement. And I know for many of us, this is a stressful time, so we'll take this moment just to connect with our body. We want to let everything go and notice how our body feels right now in this moment, knowing that there's not a right or a wrong way for your body to feel, or just here to notice it. As you're scanning your body from the top of your head down to the tips of the toes, notice any spots of tension. Maybe wiggle your body around a little bit, feeling any differences from side to side, and just notice it for right now. And as you're getting in touch with how your body feels, start to tune your attention to your breath. So we can breathe in 3 different dimensions, and we're going to intentionally try and breathe in all 3 in just a moment. We're going to start breathing up high in our shoulders. So as you take your inhale breath in, feel your shoulders hike up. And as you exhale, feel them glide down. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. 2 more times. We inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it go. Last time, we inhale, lift the shoulders, and exhale, release. Now, without moving the shoulders, I want you to breathe from your belly, kind of front to back. So we take an inhale breath, opening up, filling the belly with air, and exhale breath out to let it go. Take another inhale in through your nose, and an exhale breath out as though you're blowing out through a straw. 2 more breaths like this, inhaling in, and exhale, blow out through your mouth. 1 more time here, and exhale to let it go. The last breath pattern we'll focus on is on your ribs. And so for this one, I find it helpful to hold your hands to the sides of your ribs. Press in gently as though you are compressing the 2 ribs towards one another. As you take your inhale breath, try and breathe into your own hands, like you're opening your ribs sideways. And as you exhale, let go of the air, feel the 2 ribs glide down and together. This is the trickiest one of all, and it's one where a lot of people, if you have a stiff upper back, it feels much more challenging to do this movement. We'll recheck this at the end of class, but use the compression of your hands as a way for your brain to connect to expanding out to the side. Try 2 more times like this. Good. And 1 more time there. Good. Allow the arms to hang down by your side. We're going to start to draw some shoulder rolls here. So I want you to exaggerate these shoulder rolls. You can breathe in any pattern that's comfortable, but we're just trying to bring a little bit of warmth to our head, neck, and shoulders region. So nice and gentle, but make these circles as big as you can. Try 3 more, 2 more. 1 more time, go ahead and reverse those circles, opposite direction, reaching forward, up and around. Allow your arms to relax down by your side as you sweep the arms back and around. 3 more, and 2, One more time and shake it out. Excellent. So from here, we're going to get right into a little bit of standing work. We'll come back down into the chair, but I want to get our body a little bit warmer. So think about reaching your nose over your toes. So we're going to stand up, but when we do so, get your nose over your toes, come up to standing, and then hinge your hips backwards so your nose comes over your toes and gently sit back down. Reach your nose forward, push into your feet, and lower back down as you sit gently. 4 more like this. Push into your feet. Feel your legs do the work. It's easy to actually just let momentum take control. I want you to push into your legs. Use the power beneath you. 3 more. That's it. And think about which leg is working harder here. Can you push equally into both for 2? And gently come back down on this last time. Stand all the way on up and hold it there. Now, bring your feet a little closer together so that they are grounded right underneath your hip joint. And just a quick reminder, hips are not the widest part of your legs. Your hip joint is right in the middle where your femur bone inserts into your pelvis. So more narrow than most of us would expect. Keep the feet grounded down into the floor. Stand tall through your spine and pick your right leg up. Now, if you feel really wobbly and off balance here, hold on to your chair. You can turn and orient yourself in a way where you can hold the chair. But if you can balance here, push down into your feet, lift your spine tall, lengthen through the top of the head, and hold. We're going to try adding in a little bit of movement if you feel steady. So think of this like a backstroke. You're going to start to reach your arms, sweeping up and back. That is purposely meant to throw off your balance. So we're working a little bit harder to hold ourselves up, but we also get a nice little stretch in the shoulders here. 3 more. And 2 more. Last time here, drop the arms down, drop your feet down, and shake it out. Oh, and that can get a little tiring on that standing leg. So we're going to keep the pressure down now into our right foot, floating our left leg up. Ground the foot down into the floor. Notice if in standing, you're kind of leaning backwards. See if you can stack your body weight right on top of your ankle. And once you're stacked like that, stand tall, get taller. If you need to hold onto your chair, go ahead and do so. We'll start adding that backstroke. Good. So sweeping the arms, reaching up and back. See if you can get a nice tall range of motion and reach like you're trying to really stretch that swim stroke a little bit farther behind you. Go for 3 and 2. And 1 more time here, plant both feet down. Excellent. We're going to take it back into the chair. So make sure that you're close enough so that the chair will be behind you. Tip your nose over the toes and go ahead and take a comfortable seat. Now, if your chair has armrests, you can use that for this next exercise. If it doesn't, just place your hand down onto the chair next to you. So I'm going to place my left hand down onto the chair next to me, take my right arm up and over. Now notice I didn't shift my whole body outside of the chair. I'm keeping my spine tall. I'm just kind of opening up the space of my right rib. If you have shoulder sensitivity, go ahead and bend your elbow. I'm still able to lift my rib cage, keeping a light pressure down into my left hand. We'll drop that down, try that twice more. Reach out, up and over. As you're breathing here, think of breathing into the right side of your ribs. And lower it down. Try 1 more time. Reach out, up and over, and hold. Now, this is optional, but you can add a deeper twist here by turning as though you're going to reach your right hand out in front of you. Come back to that overhead position. Turn like you're going to reach that right hand in front of you and come back. You may want to push a little bit harder into that left hand as you rotate. So it's like you're rotating your chest to face the floor and coming back up. 2 more here. And gently come back on up. Excellent, guys. Once more here. And come right back on up. Lower the arm down and shake it out. We'll take that right hand now down onto the chair next to us or the armrest, either is fine. And you can reach your left arm up and over. Feel the opening of your left side body by arcing the spine, but not leaning outside the width of your chair. And gently lower that arm down. Twice more. We'll reach up and over. Take that nice long side stretch. As you stretch, notice if you're starting to slump. See if you can sit up really tall, reaching through the top of your head as well. And lower the arm down. Once more here, you stretch, reaching up and over, holding that nice long side stretch, breathing into your left side body. And we add that rotation. So gently rotating to turn the spine down and open out to the center. Rotate and turn the spine down and open through the center. Good. 3 more. And twist to open. Good. That's it. 2 more. And open up 1 more time here. And gently open on up and bring your arms down, shake it out. Excellent. So we're going to take that now into a hip stretch before we get into a bigger hip movement on the mat. So we'll take our left ankle on top of the right thigh. Now, if this feels like too much of a stretch for that left side, walk your right foot farther away from you. If you want to deepen the stretch, bring the right foot closer, like you might almost bring it right underneath the chair. Sit up really tall. So you want to minimize the compression in your low back by stacking your spine tall, rolling your shoulders down and back. That should probably already feel like a pretty deep stretch. But if you want to deepen that a bit more, tip your chest forward. So again, I'm not rounding forward. I'm keeping this nice long spine, just kind of tipping and hinging my spine forward. And that will feel like quite a big stretch for the outside of your left hip. This stretch shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be sharp or pulling. It should just feel like a stretch. So back off to the point where it's just a stretch. As you deepen the stretch here, make sure you're taking your deep belly breath into your belly, the sides of your ribs. You can even release your arms down by your side to add a little bit of extra body weight, deepening that stretch forward. We'll hold and breathe here, just another 2 breaths in. Excellent, and once more here. And let that breath go. Now, keeping your leg crossed, you're gonna cross it all the way over your right leg so that your legs are crossed with the left on top. Take the outside of your right hand to the outside of your left leg and then rotate towards the left. So you're gonna reach your left arm back behind you and gently twist. Notice how right away your body wants to slump. See if you can sit up really tall, drop the shoulders away from the ear, kind of gazing back towards your left hand. If this is sensitive for your shoulders, you can always bend your elbows. But if you'd like to deepen the spine stretch, try pushing in to your right hand against your legs, like you're using that for a little bit of leverage to spin your spine a bit deeper. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, continue to lengthen and lift up a little bit taller. Take a big inhale breath in and an exhale breath out to let it go. Excellent. We'll come right back through the center. You can take that leg off of the right side. We'll rinse that out with a forward fold. So separate both feet a little bit wider than hip distance, stack your 2 hands together and dive forward. If you can touch the floor, you can walk your hands forward as far as you feel comfortable. If you cannot touch the floor, that's okay. Just allow your body to melt down and breathe into the back side of your ribs. We'll try taking 1 more deep breath here. And then walking back and coming right on up. Good. From here, we're gonna walk our feet back together, take the right ankle on top of the left hip. And this time, same thing, you can walk your left foot farther away if you want less of a stretch, deeper and closer if you want a deeper stretch in that right hip. Once you have that stretch, stack the spine tall. Think of flaring your tailbone behind you and gently hinge the spine forward, not collapsing and rounding forward, gently tipping the spine forward. You can even release your arms down by your side for that little bit of extra pull towards the floor. Allow your breath to be comfortable and natural, but make sure you are breathing. Sometimes in these more intense hip stretches, we tend to want to hold our breath. Continue with a deep, full inhalation and exhalation each time, allowing your spine to deepen gently into that stretch. We'll hold for 1 more big breath here. And then go ahead and cross your legs one on top of the other. Stack your spine tall. We're going to take the outside of the left hand this time to the right leg and gently rotate and twist to the right. reaching the hand back behind you, drop the shoulders away from the ears, and use the leverage of pushing into the outside of your legs to twist the spine a little bit deeper. Can you continue to lift up tall, tall, and taller through the top of your head as you rotate and twist a bit deeper? Good. Try one more big breath in here. And an exhale breath out, come back through the center. Good. We're going to go back into that forward fold with the legs wide. I want to show you one modification. So if you felt a little bit of pinching in the front of your hips, a great option is to just bring your elbows to your knees. So this forward bent position is a nice way to start initiating bending forward from the spine with less pressure on the hips. If you're able to reach to the floor, go ahead and do so. And you can even walk your fingertips forward. Excellent. Allow your head to hang down. You can shake your head yes and no. And then gently press yourself back on up and gather your feet together. Excellent. So we're going to come on up to standing now that our hips are a little bit looser to do some bigger hip movements. So come all the way up to your standing position. I'm going to start with everyone doing the modified version, and then I'll show you how to build. So what we'll start with is separating the feet a little wider than hip distance. You're going to start to draw an arcing circle outward with your hips, with your knees bent. So imagine like your knee has a pencil. You're drawing the circle out to the side of your body with that pencil, okay? And you can make your circle as big or as small as you want. I've been moving all day. My hips are fairly warmed up, but it's okay if your movement is a bit smaller here. Now, for those of you who've done this before, this feels fairly easy and you want to build on this movement, we're going to stay on one side and add in a lunge. So I'm going to land on my right leg and bend, come back, draw my circle, land on the right side and bend, come up, draw my circle, land on that right side and bend. Now, if you're getting knee pain here, I'm going to show you from the side. It's probably because, and I know you guys can't quite see there, your knee is going too far forward. So when you land in that lunge, you want to sit your hips backwards so your knee stays right over your ankle. And that way you get a deeper hip stretch and it's not so stressful to the knee. We have one more option here. You can hold, take your left hand, rotate it towards your right ankle and rotate reaching up towards the ceiling. Just hold this for one big breath here if you would like. This is totally optional. And then you can come back up to the center. We're going to do the other side. If you're just doing your hip circles here, continue as you are. That's okay. And you can always come back to that option. As we circle the left leg, we land, come into that lunge, back to the center, big circle, land, come into that lunge, back through the center, and a big circle, we reach out, come back in, draw that big circle, and step out, come back in, and big circle. Good. Two more. Nice form, everyone. Good. I love the challenges. Last time, right hand is going to go to the left ankle, rotate and reach up to the left. You should feel a nice inner thigh stretch here, maybe a little bit of a spine stretch. Hold and breathe. And then we'll come all the way back up through the center. Okay, shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to get into a little bit of work for our calves. I always talk about our calves in this class because they are really, really important to circulate our blood. When we sit, our blood doesn't move as much. Our blood goes to where our muscles are working. And so it's really important for our blood to move. It's what helps excrete our toxins, what brings our healing enzymes around. So a lot of important reasons we want our blood moving. The easiest way to do so is get your calves pumping. They will pump blood right back to your heart. We're going to do some calf raises. Before we get into that today, I want you to notice if your knees are bent in standing or totally hyperextended. Bend your knees softly, okay? So I want you to feel like you can push into the floor. Once you're in that soft bend, keep it that way as you lift and lower. Sometimes I see people doing calf raises and it looks a little bit like this, that their knees are bending. And that's okay. Just notice it and see if you can keep your knees nice and still. I also sometimes see people who are hyperextended. The back of the knee is pushing backwards. That is also a little bit stressful to the knee. See if you can keep that soft bend and maintain that soft bend as you lift and lower. Now, as you focus on that, see if you can land really gently. So imagine like you are landing on a really kind of pokey surface and you want to be soft and delicate when you land on that pokey surface. Our calves actually work the hardest in that decelerating type movement, so gentle shock absorption of our body weight. So that is the best way, and I'm sure you guys can feel that they are starting to warm up and really burn. Keep your spine tall, keep your gaze in front of you. 5 more, softly lower. 4, and gently back down. That's it. 3. Good, guys. Last 2. 1 more time there and drop it back down. Shake it out. Excellent. So we're going to add in a stretch now to the backside of our legs and the backside of our body. Standing with your feet in that hip distance apart. Stand tall, reach your arms up overhead. Take a big inhale breath. As you exhale, dive and roll the spine forward. Softly bending your knees if you would like in this posture. Allow your arms to shake out. Allow your head to shake out. Pause here, taking an inhale breath. As you exhale, draw your tailbone underneath you and curl, rolling the spine all the way up to reach your arms overhead. Take a big inhale, grow taller and longer. Imagine this fence in front of you that you are reaching up and over as you dive forward. You softly unlock the knees, allow your head to hang heavy, shake out that tension in the head and neck. Take another big inhale breath here. As you exhale, push down into your feet and start to curl, rolling that spine up, reach the fingertips tall overhead. 1 more time here, inhale. Exhale, dive up and over, softly rolling down, down, down. You can bend your knees deeply if you want. You can press your legs straight if that feels more comfortable. And carefully roll the spine all the way back up to standing. Good. Now from here, reach the arms tall overhead again. We'll add in 1 gentle spine twist. So reach 1 arm forward, 1 arm backwards. Come back up through the center. Same thing to the other side. Feet stay grounded underneath you. So we're just adding in this soft movement for the rest of our body. If this does not feel good for your shoulders, you can always bend your elbows and reach in more of a goalpost type position as you softly twist. We'll try 3 more. Reach tall overhead, gently twist for 2. Lengthen up overhead, that's it, last time. Reach tall overhead and allow your arms to fall down by your side. We're going to take it back down into the chair to finish with our last few stretches. So once again, line up so that you know you are fairly close to the chair. Reach your fingertips forward, dive your nose over your toes, and softly sit back down. In our seated position, we'll add in a quick wrist stretch. So go ahead and interlace your hands with one another and start to draw a figure 8. So very gently drawing the most perfect figure 8 you can imagine. You may get some clicking, cracking, popping in your wrist. That's okay. That's normal. It's a very complicated joint that gets a lot of movement during our day, even when we are working at a desk. There's the one joint that does tend to move a lot. Now, I want you to reverse that figure 8. And this one will feel really funny and really awkward. That's okay. That's because we have a dominant hand here. And now we're asking our non-dominant side to lead that movement. So it may feel a little bit stiffer as well. That's okay. Just notice it. Still draw that nice figure 8 motion here. Good. 4 more just like that. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more time there. And let your arms fall down. Good. We're going to do a little ankle mobility in the same way. So we worked our calves pretty hard. I'm going to show you guys this one with my foot here, but if you can't sit with your leg comfortably like this, you can just keep your foot on the floor and follow my same movement. So very simple. All we're going to do is draw some giant circles at the ankle. And it may feel like pulling. You might also get cracking here, but I want you to really exaggerate that circle. See if you can change directions, reverse the circle, reaching it out and around. And you can look and see if there's a spot where it feels maybe a little bit sore or maybe even a little bit crunchy as you move through. Just notice it. All we're working is bringing a little bit of extra blood flow and mobility to these joints. 2 more. 1 more time there. Good. Go ahead and drop the left leg down. We'll do the same thing over on the right side. So take a look at your foot. Start to draw that really dramatic circle. Again, you can do this with your foot down on the floor. I know you can't see my foot there. So I will demo up here, and I think this is a nice way to get mobility, but you can also do this down on the floor, so that's okay. Try 3 more. 2. And 1 more time, reverse that circle. Excellent. Notice if there's a difference on this side from the other. It's always nice to get to see. I think even though we feel things in our bodies, we don't always really take a look at how they're moving, and it can tell us a lot about maybe what we need to work on or what we need to pay attention to. 2 more. And 1 more time, just like that. Excellent. So go ahead and place that leg down. Scoot right up to the edge of your chair. Allow your arms to fall down by your side. We're going to do some gentle neck circles to finish, and I want these to be gentle. Our necks actually tend to be more mobile than loose. More mobile than stiff. Even if it feels stiff, we want to be really gentle with our range of motion. So imagine like you have a little marble on the top of your head. You're going to spin that marble around your head without throwing it off your head. So it's like teeny tiny circles that you're trying to bobble around. If you feel dizzy here, you can always pause and join us back in a moment. Try 3 more. And 2. 1 more time, we're going to reverse that circle, same pattern. That marble is still on our head. We're just changing the direction of the marble spin now as we circle around. Beautiful. Good. 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more time. Feel your hips ground down into the chair. We're going to finish with our breath work. So start by reaching. When inhale, get tall, tall, and taller. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach tall. And exhale, release. 1 more time there. Inhale, lengthen the fingertips up to the ceiling. And exhale, and let it go. So nice job, guys. That concludes the movement-based part of our class. I hope you learned a couple of stretches that you can integrate in throughout your workday. We'll spend our last 1 or 2 minutes here of class answering any questions that you have. So let me get a little closer. And I just ask that if you are able to stick around to leave